All right, good morning. So some of the moves from the signature class, so the round that we've been doing in class lately, are these. The first one is just that sun salutation. I hope you can see me. Let's see. Hope you can see me. Okay, so the sun salutation, you're going to start at the front of your mat, just this, from yoga. So just kind of a refresher on that. Your feet are together, you're standing up straight, hips are tucked under, chest lifted. You're going to fan up, flat back hinge forward, half lift, and then step back into plank. From here you can drop to your knees, feet up and together. Your arms are tucked in nice and close. Your elbows are the eye of your elbow is pointed to the top of your mat. You're going to lower down, so chaturanga, lower down. From here you can come up into cobra. So that's wherever is comfortable for you, lifting the chest up, shoulders down. So cobra, and then back into down dog. You can see me there. Down dog. Without the modification, you're in back in plank. You're coming down through chaturanga, so your knees are up. And then you're going into up dog. And then back into down dog. And then either way, step into the front of your mat, whether that's a bunch of tiny steps or one big step in front of your mat. The next main move that we do in PiYo would be that PiYo push-up. So back your mat, roll it down for 3, walk it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, down either to your knees or up in that traditional push-up position. Once again, arms nice and tight into your side, doing a tricep push-up, and then walking it back. 3, 4, rolling it up. That's your PiYo push-up. We also do flight, so starting with that right leg forward, you're in a high lunge and you're bringing your upper body, goal is parallel with that front thigh. You're leaning forward so your right knee is bent, left leg is straight, circle your arms back. From here you can push up into whatever version you need it to be of warrior 3. So the traditional warrior 3 is like this. You have your hands out in airplane, down at your side. That back leg modification, that back leg is down. Okay. From here you push forward or bring your hands to the ground into 3-point balance. So hands on the ground. Left leg is lifted, pointing towards the sky. Head is to the ground. Modification is bringing that leg down, hands up. There is always the option with these, any move that you do on the ground, you can use a chair as your ground. So if that mobility is an issue, you can always here or here. From here, that lifted leg is going to come back behind you. You're crouching, the weight is in the toes of both of your feet. You're connecting, and then you're coming up into Atlas. So you're holding that big ball. And we do that on both sides, that sequence. And then flow starts in warrior 2. It's not going to get my whole body in there, but warrior 2. So that front leg, toes are pointed towards the top of the mat. Your back leg is straight. Toes are pointed out to the side. So feet are almost parallel or perpendicular to each other. Your right or front heel is intersecting the arch of your back heel. And your front leg is bent. You're kind of trying to keep your body in one plane here. So like in between 2 sheets of glass. And we start bent, straighten, flow up. From here, we push through. So turning your hips to the front of your mat, maybe stepping in that back leg a little bit and turning your feet a little more towards the front of the mat, maybe at like a 45-degree angle. Front leg stays bent. We push. Then you cartwheel your arms back to reverse warrior. So push. Whoa. Cartwheel your arms back. From here, turn your hips to the side of the mat, turning your feet out so your legs and toes are in a V. Knees are following your toes out. You're going to reach to the front of your mat, to the back of your mat, and then pan all the way up. So front, back, and all the way to the front. From here, you'll slip right down into right angle so that your feet are going back to the warrior two position. So toes on the right leg to the front of the mat, toes of the back leg are out to the side, perpendicular. That right leg is bent and your right arm is coming down on that right leg. And your left arm is to the sky. Your gaze is either out to the front or up to the top, up to the ceiling. That's a traditional from here. And then from here, after we go through that sequence, we come down into low lunge. Back it up here for you. So low lunge, hands are ideally on the inside of that front leg, but definitely can take it to the outside if feeling like the mobility isn't there. And once again, we can always integrate the chair in there too. Okay, so you're in that low lunge position. From here, we take it back into a bent knee, single leg down dog. So weight in the hands, and then you're pushing up. You're in down dog. Okay. And the knee is bent and lifted. Okay. From here, come forward into plank. So bring, and we do opposite. I'm sorry, the angle of the camera is not great here. So whether you're on the chair or on the floor, coming up into plank. Modification here is down to your knees. Do an opposite knee to elbow. So I'm going right, left, back into single leg down dog. Okay. So right, left, single leg down dog. This time your leg is straight. It is not bent. And then from here, stepping through up into pyramid. So this time you're I'm like, this isn't right. Stepping through into pyramid. So your front leg, right leg is straight. You're turning your hips to the front of your mat and you're bending over that front leg. Toes are to the front of the right leg, toes of the back leg are out to the side, just like in that warrior two position, but maybe a little bit closer for balance. And then your hand is resting above your knee and your chest is open, shoulders are down, and just breathing there. So hopefully that helps, and we will go through it all again on Monday.